This is Talk is Sheep, the official podcast of the Wild Sheep Society of BC, brought to you by Sitka Game. Come along as we bring conversations that matter to you into the high alpine. Gentlemen, Sheep Week 2025, we're here on the floor in Reno. Good to see you, Michael.
Good to see you, Kyle. Good to meet you, Greg.
Yeah, nice to meet you finally. It's an exciting time around here.
Yeah, no, finally something to do today. We've got stuck pallets and stuff just waiting around for 2 days. So, yeah, finally ready to go.
It's a big deal that for you, like for Schnee's particularly. Like you guys are, you run the gauntlet. You started. I know I seen you last week in Atlanta.
Yep.
Here in Reno, SCI next week, I'm sure.
Straight to SCI on Sunday night.
Does it end then? Then you're free and clear, or you got other
for
stuff?
a couple of weeks, yeah, and then Salt Lake, and then up to you guys.
Yeah, we've been very fortunate to have you come up to BC, and it's been fun. You've been coming up now for a few years. You were with us in Kamloops back in like 2019 or 2020, wasn't it?
No, I think.
Well, you did
2
a
years
Kamloops
ago.
show. Was it? Yeah, was it that?
2 years ago.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
it was post-COVID.
Yeah, last year in Kamloops.
Yeah. So, and then Penticton last year, and then Penticton again this year. So it's going to be awesome to have you back there, and yeah, it's awesome. So Schnee's brand, obviously, you guys do an amazing job. I've always been. Years ago, I heard about you. I'm like, who the hell are these guys? And the one thing I love about it is it's not big box stuff. You guys are a family-run operation, and you're second generation, I guess. Jon, your dad bought into the business. Is that how it works, or?
Yeah. So back in 2005, my dad, over the years, he became friends with the previous owner and the founder, Steve Schnee, and he was kind of looking to, settle down, retire, and he and my dad just started talking. So, yeah, I guess second generation at some point, but the old man's a way off from putting it down.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about that in Reno. It's like you're like, oh, so what's Jon doing? Is he going to hand it over? I'm like, it doesn't seem like he's ready to. Not saying that you're not more than capable, but and the thing is too, it's the whole family now, right? You got your brother and sister. We were talking about that offline. They're working in the store now and stuff, and
yep,
you guys are making some real cool changes in the store as well. So
yeah, that's exciting. We sorry, something stuck on my foot.
That was my sticker. Sorry,
but yeah, my brother, he has always kind of worked off and on. He's a handy guy, so he always did construction, landscaping, and in between jobs would come work for us for a bit. But now he was kind of running our gun room that we had in the store for a long time, and with the renovations, we were kind of giving the gun business to an awesome company called Scout Arms. They're out of Clyde Park, Montana, or I guess now Bozeman, Montana. And so he's kind of our in-house handyman, and my sister's really helpful with all of our marketing stuff and kind of the online business.
Awesome.
So it's great to have everyone. And I mean, shoot, I'd see my brother, a couple times a month before that. And now I hang out with him every day. It's the best.
Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about the storefront. So I was down there a few years ago, as we mentioned earlier, and the storefront's awesome. You have the powder room in the back, and you got your mounts. You guys got mounts everywhere. There's sheep in there, full body. I think your dad's was it stone sheep?
No, it's Cam Marcoux's Missouri Brakes Ram.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, your dad has a bunch of pictures of his stuff in there, and there's mounts and everything, and just a cool vibe. And it's kind of weird because Bozeman's it's the West, but it's pretty hippified, man. It's
it's college town.
Yeah, it's definitely a different vibe. But you walk in there, and I feel at home in your store.
Yeah, I mean, we do our best to kind of plant our flag, right in the heart of downtown Bozeman. We moved into that location in 2010, I believe.
Okay.
And we used to just be down the street, but we merged with a legacy company called Powderhorn, which was started by a guy named George Deeriff after World War II. So they go back all the way to 1946. They've been in that building. And what's cool about kind of what we're trying to do is get more focused on our own brand, and then Duckworth, who we co-founded. And basically at this point sort of try to turn it back into the old Powderhorn. So cram mounts in as many nooks and crannies as we can. See how it goes.
Well, and you told me there's some stuff going on there. Like you got like a restaurant going in there, like a bar. Or what's the?
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about that. That's super cool.
Yeah, we have wanted to do it for a long time, and finally decided to pull the trigger on it. So basically, half the store is going to become a bar and grill. We partnered with some good guys on it, and like this Monday before I had to leave for Atlanta, we finally got a wall up and got it sealed for construction. So my brother's kind of handling all that back at home, which is helpful. But yeah, it should be fun. I mean, that's really what we're trying to turn it into. It's just a fun place to come hang out downtown. You want to buy some boots, great. You want to buy some Duckworth, great. But we just want it to be a kind of what it always sort of has been. It's just a good local place. It's a destination, and guys got an hour to kill before dinner. Go hang out at Schnee's.
Yeah. Talk a little bit about Ram Rendezvous, because that's a big deal. And like you talk about, you kind of want to make it your own and stake your claim, and frickin' Ram Rendezvous, you guys stake your claim. Like like for our listeners, like that has to, like I really regret not having been there, and like it's definitely a mecca that I have to do, but I haven't done it yet. But talk about what you guys do there.
Yeah, I mean, we've been here at Sheep Show for I think just over 35 years. So Gray's a really good friend of ours, and we've always wanted a reason to kind of close off the street and have a big block party. And finally one night we were just sort of talking with Gray, and they used to have their summer bash out at their location in Belgrade at the headquarters, and wanted to maybe move it downtown, get some more people, and kind of started looking into it. It's pretty easy. Fill out a couple permits and grab some beer, and it's just what's cool about Ram Rendezvous is you get all the local hunters in Bozeman. They come out for it, but you get a lot of just kind of general downtown traffic. And so it's kind of cool it's an opportunity for some businesses to show off what they do, but also just spread the word on wild sheep conservation. It's a really cool mix of people, which is what I like about it.
Well, I think that's great, Michael, because we're always talking to the converted, right? We're always preaching to our own choir, and it's like, how do we reach outside that circle and like that stuff? And I think it's kind of that collaboration between industry and the conservation world that we need to go there. Like, they're not going to get people from downtown Bozeman out to the headquarters there on Pronghorn Drive. It's just not going to happen, right? Like, you'll get hunters for sure, and that's where downtown people are just going to be, people won't even know about it. They won't even come out for it, but they'll see it, and then they're like, oh, yeah, right on, and like, oh, this is really cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty easy way to get people in the door. We got Larry cooking barbecue, so they smell it, and then they come by, and the big sign says free beer, free food, raffle, like live music. I think, oh, shoot, I can't remember her name, but she's been awesome. I feel bad, but yeah, I mean, it's really just a big party to kind of celebrate wild sheep downtown Bozeman.
When you put free beer and free food out on the sign, a lot of people show up.
Pretty easy. Yeah.
I know I turn my head every time I see a sign like that. So.
Yeah.
Well, and it's pretty hard not to sort of gain some friends across the aisle when you're giving them free food and free beer and a chance to win some cool prizes. And it's just a good vibe. Like, I haven't been, but I've watched it, and it's just like, man, that's something I want to be part of, right?
Yeah, everyone's smiling and everyone's dancing. It's something we look forward to every year, and trying to find ways to expand it now, actually, just to have more vendors and stuff. But at the same time, I kind of like that it's tight and intimate, and it sort of is what it is. But down the road, I think the problem is that on Main Street's actually owned by the Montana Highway people, and so they're a little more red tape to get that closed off. But I think with all the success we've had, it should be doable in the next year or two.
Yeah, and there's economic things. It's beneficial for the city, right? And when you
totally.
But yeah, the highways isn't going to care. They're like, it doesn't benefit them, right? So yeah, fair. Cool. So the one thing I love about you guys, and we have lots of great brands that support the society, and you guys are that family-run aspect, and you guys are hunters, like, at your core, and it's like it's just. I think, like, I've had your dad on the podcast, Jon, and you just he's just so passionate about hunting, and talk to you, and it's just, you guys, I know that if I'm texting in the fall, I'm just not going to get an answer for a week or two. It's like, oh shit, Kyle, so sorry, I was just out hunting elk. So I guess you grew up with that, like, with your dad, and just like you started
didn't have much of a choice.
Yeah.
No, I think my dad started. I mean, I've got pictures of me at 2 years old, sitting in the bed of a truck while they're shooting clays and stuff in the back. And, I mean, it's just the best. It's like in my blood, I guess. But
right.
I mean, in Montana's a great place to be for it. I'm super fortunate to have grown up there, and it's such a big state. I mean, I kind of just look at the map and find places I haven't been, and we're like, all right, let's go look for a deer there. Let's go over here. But, no, I think, I mean, my dad just looked at me as a free packer, basically. It's starting at about 5 years old. But yeah, it's awesome. I was finally able to get my first elk with my bow this year, which is great. And then we've got some really cool opportunities for sheep hunting in Montana that don't know if I want to talk too much about, but
Just give me
it's kind
the
of
X
next
on the
on my
map, right?
it's kind of my next goal, I guess.
That's awesome.
Head into there.
So do you find it's hard with the business because you're so involved now, and like I know you've been slowly ramping it up and doing more and more and more all the time. Do you find it's tough to get out in the field in the fall, or you guys just make it a priority, make it happen?
Yeah, I mean, kind of have to, like it is the business, and we are who we are, so we don't want to be too apologetic about that. But we've got a great team. I mean,
right.
Having my brother there, my sister there is awesome. We got Kurt, who kind of runs the store, and he's kind of the madman behind all the boots and everything, and he's been with us for, it's well over 20 years. I think we celebrated maybe his 30th year or 25th year a couple years back. And then Stacy she does everything. Kind of just a firefighter, runs around, makes sure everything's moving smooth. And she's been with us for 17 years. So we got a great group of people behind everything that make it as easy as it can be to be away for a week or two at a time.
Yeah.
But definitely put a lot of miles on the truck in the fall. Driving 6 hours one way for 3-4 days, and then I got to go home and check out the office again. So but
awesome.
Try to be out as much as we can.
Yeah, right on.
And we kind of share that culture with everybody too. You got to be fair, right? So if I just went and did a week, then I'll stay in the office and let someone else go out for a week or until I get something.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about your elk hunt this fall. That's an amazing bull that you killed. Like that's incredible, man.
Yeah, I mean, better be lucky than good, for sure.
It's a good motto.
Yeah,
but there's also putting your time in too, right? Like if you're not out there, you can't be lucky, right?
Yeah, for sure. Can't shoot him on the couch.
Yeah.
But no, it was great. Hunting actually kind of sucked up until then. Like, saw a bunch of bulls like getting into the season. Then once the season opened, didn't see a whole lot. Just kind of, we had a big fire actually, not too far away, so it was real smoky, and just kind of walking around, heading back to my camp actually, and it was about 11 noon, and started hearing a bugle and sort of walked towards it, and ended up just sitting on him all day, and had a wind shifted, so I did a big hike and kind of got hidden. Ended up calling him in 30 yards, and went about 100 yards and found him. That's
awesome.
short of it. But no, I hadn't put my hands on an elk in so long, because I shot another bull when I was high school at some point, but I don't know, I was kind of looking at him in the dirt. My dad and brother just actually got to our camp, and so they were like, hadn't even laced up their boots yet, and sent them a text that they got one, had a little bit of service, and was waiting for them, and I was like, man, he's pretty nice. Like, he's got good thirds, really good fronts. I was like, oh, he's a really nice bull. And then had my friend Fred King with Boone and Crockett tape him out a few months later, and I was like, holy smokes.
What did he score?
He's just north of 370.
Oh, wow.
Holy dynamite, I didn't realize he scored that.
Yeah.
So that's way up in Pope and Young. What's the Pope and Young minimum?
I don't think he makes all-time Pope and Young. I think he makes awards.
Wow,
so
I would have thought he would.
The 2-year
okay.
awards,
okay.
Yeah, I think Pope and Young might be 375.
Okay, I'm a bit naive on that, so that's huge, man.
Yeah.
Congrats.
No, he actually nets out pretty bad. He's got like 60 inches of deductions.
Wow.
Because, one side's all messed up. I don't know if he broke his skull or something, but he's a cool bull. I mean, he's got, just on his fronts, he's got like 40 inches of deductions almost.
Wow, that's
he's
crazy.
Got like 3-inch fronts on one side and 20-inch fronts on the other.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's awesome. So talk about that. Like, talk about like how the hell do you maintain your composure, man? Like at 30 yards with it, and he was in the rut. Like, was he?
He was screaming.
He was screaming.
Yeah, I was crap my pants for a while when I kind of first saw him, but ended up kind of sitting behind a bush for long enough, and then they went over a ridge, which was lucky, and kind of ran up and just got behind a big tree and had perfect wind, so that calmed me down a lot. It's like they got no idea I'm here. I can hang for a bit, and I was still nervous enough. I tried to cow call once, and it sounded like a kazoo, and I was like, oh shoot, and he totally shut up after that. The cow shut up, and I was like, oh, I blew it. And I was hearing another bull bugle. They were kind of talking back and forth, and sort of thinking, I was like, well, maybe I'll go. It's only 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so I was like, I'll maybe go look over at him and see how that goes, and shoot, bummer, whatever. And I was ready to pack her in, and decided, I was like, well, I'll just cow call one more time, maybe. And cow called, and then heard him like right in front of me screaming, like coming right up. and just made a conscious decision to, like, I'm not even going to look at him. Just look where you want to hit him.
Did you know he was that good, though? Did you
no,
think
I never really saw him.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I saw him through some timber and saw he had 6.
Right.
So,
yeah.
I mean, never shot one. So I was like, all right, if he comes in, I'll shoot him. But it's kind of funny. So the loop on my bow is actually loose, I realized when I got to camp. So I spent the day before, like 4 hours shooting my bow, trying to get it back, like at least elevation-wise good.
Right.
And it was still about 6 inches right, like out of tune. So I was kind of like 30 yards and in sort of thing. And came in and he wouldn't stop. So I just led him like a mallard and flung an arrow. And then right after I shot him, he ran off. And I was like, what the hell did I just do? Like, you shoot a moving elk with a bad arrow. Like, it's like, oh, man. And I knew I kind of hit him a little back, but he was quartering away, so I thought it might have wheezed up into the lungs or something. And that's what happened, yeah. Didn't see any blood, so I was freaking out for 20 minutes probably. And then I heard him breathe, and figured he was bedded, so I was just tippy-toeing, and he was just laying there in a meadow.
Wow.
Head still up, and I just kind of sat down and watched him until he passed out.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's kind of a shit show.
Yeah. And you were solo in there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Wow. That's pretty intense.
Yeah, lucky than good. That's what I mean.
Yeah, no, that's going to be the quote of the podcast. I kind of let him like a mallard. I like that. Yeah. When they're inside of 30, it gives you a bit better opportunity for sure.
Yeah, I mean, 2 years ago I screwed one up bad, like really just freaking out, and kind of just flinched my shot, put it in his shoulder, and arrow went in 2 inches. Like, that bull I hiked it all over the mountain for the next 2 days and didn't ever see my blood, didn't find my arrow, and he was fine. So after that, I kind of made a choice. I was like, just don't even look. Just like target practice, look where you want to shoot.
Right.
Yeah.
So what was it like when you walked up to him? Like, no idea what this. Well, I guess you kind of seen him laying there, so you're going through the motion. Like, is he going to get up? And then you start looking at his horns probably too, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was able to get to like 40 yards when he was, dying, and just sat there with an arrow nocked. Like, I was just make sure I didn't bump him and get him up again. And then once his head went down, like, just the adrenaline dump and everything. Like, I was ready to puke. Like, I was like getting stomach cramps, and oh my gosh, like, just shaking. And it was, I mean, that's elk hunting enough is such a drug for me. It's like, I mean, I've been doing it for that long. Like, I was always kind of a rifle hunter until, I guess it was probably the year of COVID. I really got into it, like shooting my bow a lot. And I'd always, take horses in, or my dad would take horses. I'd hike in and meet him during elk season and just hunt around with them. I just never shot a bow enough to really feel confident.
Right.
So, but yeah, I mean, once you actually get one, it's like, it's a pessimistic view, but it's like, it was almost a bummer, because it's the second weekend, and then it's like my favorite thing to do in the world. So you got to go back to work, and you can't do it again. So you're just already looking forward to the next year.
Yeah, for sure. In Montana, you can do archery. Do you get a tag every year? Are there open seasons? Yeah,
well, most of the state's general. That tag I put in for every year.
Okay. Yeah.
Decent tag, and not super hard to get, at least yet.
Yeah.
And but that's kind of the fun thing. It's like, if I draw it, I know where I'm going. If not, then go explore a different part of the state.
Yeah.
And like, just in the Bridger Mountains, right outside of Bozeman, I oddly enough didn't ever hunt them a whole lot. And this, I guess 2 seasons ago, 2 seasons ago, I just decided, hey, it's not great elk hunting, but it's like, screw it, I'm gonna get to know the Bridgers and hunt around there. Like, and it was fun. Like, got into elk, and that's like going fishing after work. Just try and sneak out a little early and get a couple try and get a stock in. If it works, it works. If not, it doesn't.
How far a drive is it for you, like, to get up there?
Into the Bridgers?
Yeah.
20 minutes.
That's it, eh? Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, and I grew up in Bridger Canyon too.
Right.
So.
And is there a bunch of pressure? Like, Bozeman's filled with hunters. Like,
some spots, but it's a big enough mountain range you can get away from people.
Right. Yeah.
And everyone's around's nice. So, I mean, if there's 2-3 trucks you run into someone, you say, like, oh, I'm going this way. Like, all right, sounds good, I'll go this way.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's funny. Like obviously, there's a lot of brands out of Bozeman that we deal with, and it's like,
That's crazy.
like basically starting in September to November, it's like I'm not going to get a hold of anyone. It's like they're impossible to get in touch with. It's hunting season. Leave us alone, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of cool about our industry. Is like people know we're in it because we're passionate about it, and I think too, like the people that are good at it are passionate about it, which makes them good at it, right? So, like you guys, you and your dad are like hardcore hunters. It's what you do, and that's like the brand. Or, you know, in the brand, in your marketing, everything, it exhibits itself. It shares that. I love when you drive into Bozeman. And what does it say on the billboard there? Like it's, I think there's a billboard that when you drive into Bozeman, it's a proud supporter of the Wild Sheep Foundation.
Yep.
And it's got your logo on it. So it's got a picture of a sheep on it and stuff. And
I don't even think we asked Gray for permission to do that. We
is
just
that
did
right?
it. But
well, I talked to Gray about it. I'm like, that's fucking awesome. And he's like, like he's just so. That's exactly what you want.
It's great. It's right after the airport.
Right?
Yeah, I mean credit to Kurt. Like Kurt got us into that billboard, and it's perfect. Get off the plane, you head into Bozeman, you can't avoid it.
Yeah, and like from a branding perspective, it's like that's the company I want to support. If I'm a sheep hunter and I see that, like I'm going to go buy my boots from these guys, right? So.
Yeah, and I mean, we're really passionate about all wildlife. Like, I mean, it keeps us in business, and so I mean, we do as much as we can with everyone we can, right? Like, I mean, wild sheep, Army F, everyone.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, I mean, like I said, we're unapologetic with it. You know, like, Bozeman's a tourist town, right, in the summers, and people come in and they're unfamiliar with our boots, and they're looking at them and they're like, oh, like, so you guys make your own hiking boots? And I was like, no, we make hunting boots.
Yeah.
We're hunters. Yeah. And that's okay.
That's awesome. You know, and I love to, like, you know, there's kind of a tendency that there can be a tendency to hide from, you know, who we are, right? Our identity, and you guys put it out there, like I said, mounts all over the place, and you know that powder room is filled with like insane taxidermy, like the stuff from, like you were saying, from the 50s, right? There's older stuff than that.
Yeah,
too,
we got the Dewey Rawlings ram, who's like a top, I think, 70 stone ram all time. We've got a Boone and Crockett Shiras Moose from Gallatin County. Bunch of old stuff. I mean, shoot, we got a rhino on the wall.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. See, and that's like dessert for an anti-hunter, right? Like they.
Yeah.
So I love that about what you guys do. Do you guys ever get any flack in there? Like, do guys ever?
Oh, yeah.
You do, eh?
Yeah, a couple times a year. But no one ever says anything to your face, which is funny, right? Like, but like all of our one-star Google reviews are, like it's a great store, but there's a rhino on the wall. Like,
right.
But I mean, that's fine. Don't come in.
Yeah.
You know,
exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
But, no, I think it's silly personally, but some people are just grouchy people.
Yes.
We know all about it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. You stand for something, you're always going to get a little bit of heat, and that's good. That's what you want, really. Like, Yeah,
and I think, I mean, we're not looking for arguments, you know. It's like, but we are who we are, and with the kind of work we're doing on the store, like, that's part of it. You know, what's cool about what we're doing is because we've got a tighter space now, putting the bar and grill in. We're going to we've moved most of the taxidermy to the other side, and when it's all said and done, it's actually going to look and feel a lot like the original Powderhorn.
Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, they used to have it, like I said, everything just shoved into nooks and crannies, and, you know, kid brings in his first whitetail, he wants to show it off in Schnee's, great. Here's a little spot, banging into the wall.
Nice.
But, yeah, I think, you know, my dad, and I totally support it. We're going to put a big American flag out on the front.
Yeah.
He wants to do the national anthem at high noon every day.
Nice.
Shut off the music and play it in the store.
Cool.
Hell yeah, let's ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, we've lost a bit of that, right? Like when I grew up, well, you're too young to remember. Maybe it's the same in the States, but when I grew up as a kid, we used to sing "O Canada" every morning, every single morning, and we'd say the Lord's Prayer. That was what we did. We did it grade 1 through 9. Did it every single day of my life. Never missed it. You guys do that?
We never did the Lord's Prayer, but it was.
You grew up in BC. They don't believe in God in BC, right?
Well, you got to be careful in some neighborhoods, yeah. But we did sing the national anthem at school.
Is that right? Yeah.
We did the Pledge of Allegiance every morning.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, because we have the whole Common Core education thing.
Right.
So I think every public school does the Pledge of Allegiance, or did. I don't know if they still do it. Wouldn't be shocked if they don't.
Yeah.
But it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's neat. It's neat to see that. you know, I feel like in you know, I don't want to talk politics. I definitely don't want to talk politics. But you know, with the election and down here, and interesting, like we're on the doorstep, right? It's the 16th. It's like I think Monday is when
inauguration day.
Inauguration day. And then we got all our stuff going on in Canada right now. We're an election's imminent, probably a change of government there. But it does seem like there's a bit more of a shift to conservative values certainly the last year, and certainly the last few months.
Yeah, I think it's just, for me, it's like it got so crazy in the U.S. that it was like borderline controversial to be proud to be an American, which is insane.
Right.
I mean,
yeah.
I'll kind of end it on that, I guess.
Yeah. We don't need to go down the rabbit hole. They're just going to get me hate mail.
And where'd you grow up, Kyle?
I grew up in Southern Alberta. So, you know, it was like pretty conservative. Certainly back then it was like definitely conservative sort of, you know, I didn't know that there was any other party than a conservative party. But it's changed a lot now. Like there's a lot more, you know, there's the big cities have become really big cities now. And so there's definitely been a shift of values. Like I grew up with like very rural values. I grew up on a farm, right? Right. And that's what we did. So it just, you know, big cities, I didn't understand that or whatever. So it's definitely, and I think that's been our biggest thing in Canada is just this like mass migration from these rural communities to these urban centers. So I think that's kind of changed the dynamic. Like, and I think that's part of our problem with hunting in Canada is like people don't see it. They don't see wildlife. They don't really care about it. Like, I'm not saying they don't care, but they just don't think about it because it's just not a priority. Whereas like growing up on the farm, like it's all we thought about. Like frickin' you drive to school and you'd see whitetail and mule deer and you'd see antelope and just an abundance of wildlife. And that doesn't happen. My kids never had that growing up in the city, right?
Right.
So.
Yeah, I mean, Bozeman's kind of just the perfect storm between being such an outdoor place.
Yeah.
You got a lot of, and having so many hunting brands and fishing brands there.
Yeah.
So you get a bunch of migration from hunters and outdoorsmen, which is great, but it's also a college town, and then you get, especially during COVID, you know, a bunch of people just leaving kind of big cities and grabbing up their little piece of pie in Montana.
Yeah.
I mean, that stupid show Yellowstone come out too.
I bet.
It's crazy.
That's crazy. That whole thing. Like it's a great show. I'll say that. it certainly creates an image of Montana, no question about it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Right. A bunch of people from California migrating over, thinking they're going to live that ranch life.
Yeah.
It's been good for property values. You got to give it that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been.
But then you're like, but my kids will never buy a house. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But.
For sure.
No, it's most of the people are good people. Like, you know, I've got a few friends who've moved up here and, you know, just met in the store and stuff, and you know, it's good for the town.
Yeah.
Bozeman's a special place, but at some point I'll probably head somewhere else.
Yeah. It's interesting. Like I think with you too, like you guys do so much in our conservation community and the hunting community, and you're like, you know, Bozeman, like there's just all these brands, like, and all these influencers too, right? Like you start listing them off, and people are like, they just be like, oh, if I could meet any one of these people, it'd be amazing. And you're like, you're around them all the time. A lot of them you work with through the store and stuff like that. It's kind of neat, eh?
Yeah, and I mean, people understand too. And again, that's the cool thing about Ram Rendezvous is it's an opportunity to really show people like what wildlife conservation is,
right?
And I guess the way I kind of try to explain it to people is, you know, you're not a hunter, which is totally okay, but, you know, you like walking around and seeing deer and seeing elk, and, I mean, you know, there's so many elk now anymore in Montana, too. Like, you see them in fields in town, like, just on the outskirts of town. So, like, you like seeing that kind of stuff. Like, this is how it's conserved, and, you know, we screwed up everything so bad, you know, 150 years ago, shooting everything, that the only way to conserve stuff is to manage it and hunt certain species and kind of keep everything in balance that way.
Yeah.
Like talking with some guys here on the road, like it's such a mess up in Alaska with, I guess, too many otters and seals, and they're eating all the salmon and trout and stuff. And it's such a sensitive thing that you got to manage it.
Yeah, and you know, it's interesting. Like there's sort of a narrative out there too. I think I could be wrong, Michael, but I think that people look at hunters and they think of like those poachers from 150 years ago, or if they don't think of that, they think of Africa now, and they think like, you know, like the people are out there poaching and like killing like rhinos and elephants and just like
Right.
they don't understand any of the basis behind it. And it's like it's pretty low hanging fruit for certainly the anti-hunting community. They do a good job of portraying us as freaking villains, right?
That's why we had a really cool evening in the store back in December on understanding hunting in Africa.
Okay.
So there's a guy named Morgan Potter who've kind of become friends with. He's with I think it's the Robin Hunt Wildlife Conservation Group.
Okay.
Out of Tanzania. So he's a PH in Tanzania and then lives in Bozeman the rest of the year.
Right.
And we did it with him and Robbie Kroger at Blood Origins.
Right.
And showed a video on elephant hunting. Did a whole presentation on how conservation works in Tanzania, and I'll be honest, I was nervous, like kind of going into it.
I'd be scared to death, man.
Jesus. Right in downtown Bozeman on a Thursday night, Friday night, I think, and it went awesome. We had probably 50-ish people show up. Some people with like our local SCI chapter, and quite a few people who were just curious. I mean, we were supposed to end at 7 or 8, and we went until about 9 o'clock just in the Q&A portion at the end.
Was there lots of questions, like good questions? And
yeah, people were just honestly genuinely curious.
Was there any hate mail? Like, were people saying you guys are murderers or anything?
Nope, never heard anything about it.
Huh.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
It was really cool.
Yeah. That's cool. It's
I
good
can't
to see.
thank those guys enough for doing it. 'Cause, I mean, I met Morgan just in the gun room.
Is that right? Eh?
Yeah, and kind of just got to talking. We've wanted to do it since we met, and finally it all worked out. Robbie was in town anyway, and yeah, it was great.
Yeah, that's awesome. Cool. Should we talk boots? Should we talk some brand stuff? You want
Sure.
to touch base?
Talk about whatever you want, Kyle.
What's going on with Schnee's? So obviously you got your pack boots, which are super popular. I love those, and it's interesting. You're like, yeah, guys wear these elk hunting all the time and stuff, and I wore them on my antelope hunt. I'm like, okay, Mike said these are good for whatever, so I wore them, and they were awesome, man. They're epic.
Yeah.
I love those things.
Yeah, I mean, they're kind of the boots that started all for us, back in the 80s. And then probably around 2010 is when we started making like more our modern style, like we call them mountain boots.
Right.
We collaborated with Loa actually to kind of, we like to say, basically invent that style, because it was always sort of like light hiking boots and pack boots, and then there's all this mountaineering stuff that the Europeans used for doing whatever, and realized that you get a lot more support and they're a little more technical, and definitely makes hiking a little bit easier sometimes than a pair of pack boots. And so we've been doing that for, I guess, just shy of 20 years now. This year was a fun year because we reworked our most popular boot, made some upgrades to it, which was a little nerve-wracking. But
is this the granite or the bear tooth?
Bear tooth, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And then, no, it's fun. I mean, it's always innovating. And
right.
We're trying to expand our selection as much as we can. I think we're probably most known for durability,
right?
I would say. So granite, bear tooth, you can do anything in those boots, but we're trying to get kind of more into like the lightweight style of stuff, which we have with like the Mission and the Kestrel, and some cool things coming out this year as well. Stay tuned for those. But and now we've gotten into the rubber boots too, which has been fun. Yeah. And I never grew up a rubber boot guy, but figured might as well. And shoot, they're awesome. They're easy.
Is that right? Yeah.
I'll say that much. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was on a mule deer hunt this year and probably had a few too many whiskeys and forgot to get my boot, my pair of boots out of the bed of my truck. So I woke up, they were frozen solid, and I was like, well, I see Canadians use these rubber boots on sheep hunts all the time on YouTube, so yeah, whatever, I'll just wear them today, and ended up doing 10 miles that day. Not sheep country by any means, but yeah, they worked out great. And we've got a whole line of like everyday stuff too that Kurt has been awesome on, and so it's fun. Like you just get kind of wild ideas and pursue them and see how they go, and some work, some definitely don't.
Yeah,
but it's fun. That's kind of my passion with the business, is the testing side, and just more of the creative, like kind of manufacturing side of things for sure.
Right. Yeah, I think innovation's key, right? Like if you're stagnant, you're
falling behind.
Yeah, you're falling behind.
For sure.
I'm the same with you. I'd rather try something and have it fail, and then learn from it and do better next time, and then as opposed to the status quo.
Yeah, and kind of next chapter stuff, but I really want to kind of bring back the Powderhorn as a maybe another sister brand of ours, because it's been really fun telling the Duckworth story with the helis.
Right.
I think Friday night I guess tomorrow night, the Montana chapter of Wild Sheep. Ty was telling me they're going to do a little teaser for a documentary they're doing about sort of the evolution between domestic and wild sheep, and obviously the Hellies are a big part of that. And I think you talked about it when you had my dad on a little.
Yeah, we touched on a little bit. But for our listeners, touch a little bit about what the Duckworth brand is, like what you guys sell, how it works.
The Duckworth is basically 100% made in USA merino wool clothing brand. That's one of the sweaters I'm wearing right now. And so their sheep are raised in Dillon, Montana, and then from there they shear them. They make their own yarns, then make their own fabrics, then through a few different facilities do some manufacturing. So it's been a really cool story to watch them grow. Easy brand, right? Like it's all made in the USA for one, but the story of the Hellies is, they were the ones who drove the sheep up into Dillon, fourth generation family.
Wow.
But yeah, they definitely go through some stuff because their sheep graze in the gravelies in the summer, and there's a lot of people who think that's not right. But I think the reason Ty loves him, right, is he's a bison rancher, so he gets the same deal. People are freaking out at him because he's got bison, but you come to realize that it's actually okay. There's not really any issues. And but yeah, basically Wild Sheep Foundation worked with the Hellies to actually move their sheep out of the Greenhorn Mountains into the Gravelies instead, because they wanted to put sheep back in the Greenhorns. And the cool thing about that story is it kind of came to fruition a year ago. They let out one tag, and a friend of mine, this guy Fred King, again, he taught my hunter's ed, actually.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
And he was the one to draw the tag, and he went in and shot a ram.
Wow.
So I think that's one of the, if not the coolest conservation story in Montana, is that whole full circle moment.
Yeah, it is super cool. And, I think that's one thing, like we get so worked up about this domestic disease issue and the impacts it's having on wild sheep, but nobody's ever been successful going in with a heavy hand. It just doesn't work. Like, it's never worked. It's not going to work. Like, we have to find a way to work together. It's just the only way we can do it, right?
Yeah, I don't want to misquote it, so I'll put that disclaimer out there, but I think kind of how it went was they were dealing with some lawsuits and stuff, and then finally, like, Wild Sheep and the Hellies just kind of had their own little meeting on the side, and they're like, this is all kind of bogus, and like, why don't we just work together and keep the lawyers and politics out of it? And they did, and it worked out great.
Yeah. That's the one thing that we have to absolutely do is support those producers that are like conservation minded, right? Like the Hellies, like Duckworth, like that brand. Everyone should be buying Duckworth. Don't go buy some brand that doesn't stand for the things that you believe in, right?
Totally.
So, and then if every producer did that, we wouldn't have a problem. We could solve the problem of, but it just, sometimes we get a little bit shrouded with all the bullshit, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, cool. Talk a little bit about sheep hunter boots. What are you guys pushing? If you've told me, but I want to hear your side of it on if I'm coming in buying a pair for a sheep hunt in BC, what am I going to buy?
Well, it's kind of whatever you're into. I mean, we've got so many shapes and sizes anymore. Yeah. Most people, like, if it's someone who's never done one before, I usually push them to wear granites. I mean, that's what the granite boot was kind of developed for, is steep mountain hunting. Whether that's high country mule deer, elk, anything like that. But sheep anymore, it's really just kind of our sheep mountain goat type of boot. Right. Real stiff boot, tall boot, waterproof, everything you need to kind of head into sheep country and have a good stable sole. And that being said, I know, like, got a guide buddy, and he wears our Timberlines, which is totally opposite end of the spectrum. It's a super lightweight, flexible boot. And that's what I wear, hunting for archery season in Montana.
Right.
But yeah, so I mean, it's kind of, there's so many shapes and sizes, and some people just don't like a super stiff boot. Right. And then, talking with a friend of mine this morning, and he was saying he wears our Granite Pros, and he was saying if you could make them 70% stiffer, I'd probably prefer them even more.
Is that right?
Yeah, he wants a 2x4 on the bottom of his foot.
Yeah,
but,
for sure.
And the higher up you get, tends to chew up boots a little bit more sometimes too. So Granite's definitely our most kind of durable boot, and it's the first boot of that style that we did do. We did the Granite, and then I guess the Beartooth too was kind of a collection that we came out with.
Right. Yeah.
And then over the years, just kind of keep adding, trying to fill all the holes you can.
So you mentioned that you guys kind of worked with Loa to bring something to market. Is that the Granite, or what boot was that originally?
I believe we called it it was the Granite.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I think Loa basically still makes it. I think it's called the Hunter Extreme.
Okay. Yeah.
And then, I honestly don't really know the whole story on how it kind of decided to go our own ways, but
Right.
I know we still work with the same factory, and it's awesome. I mean, the one thing that I think is great about us is they're basically handmade boots. I mean, you're making them kind of small batch assembly, one at a time.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy at the factory who wraps the rubber rand around the bottom of the boots, he's been doing that for 40 years.
Yes.
And he just got an apprentice a couple years ago, and he said that guy needs to apprentice him for like 5 years before he could do it on his own.
Right.
I mean, he's like holding his hand, showing him how tight he needs to make it and everything.
All right. Yeah,
so
it's pretty cool.
And they're, a great Italian family, and it's been an absolute pleasure getting to know them over the years and working with them.
Yeah, very cool. On the innovation side, how does it work? Like you had the evolution to these new products you talked about. Is that something like who's the head shit on that? Is that like your dad, or where does it, you guys work with the factory? Or
yeah, I mean, everyone kind of has ideas, but Kurt mostly, for sure. Yeah. Kurt is a total shoe dog, so way smarter and better at it than I am. Like, I'll get a wild idea every now and then and kind of take it to him, and within
how often
by the end of my sentence he's like, that's not possible.
We're
that's
not
possible.
doing that.
Yeah. So I was actually just texting him on the way over here because I got a wild hair on trying to do a snake boot for us just after Atlanta, talking to people down there who wear a lot of snake boots, and we'll try it. I don't know if it's going to work or not.
Right.
But my sister, actually, she's the one who does a lot of our renderings and things like that. So
okay.
So it's kind of fun to get to work with her on inventing stuff.
Yeah.
That's really all it is.
Yeah. And then you guys get to go out and field test the stuff too and see how it works and stuff.
Yeah. And that's always the cool moment, is like you get a prototype. I guess the first one I was really involved in was our mission. And so we got a prototype, wore it around for a season, and then kind of gave it the thumbs up. Sent them to my buddy, Wyatt Fellows, and he wore them for sheep hunts for a year. And he said, yeah, they're great, thumbs up. And then that July we launched it.
Is that right?
Yeah, so that was pretty cool to see.
Yeah, that's awesome. I was going to ask you, so somebody wants to buy some product, what's the best? Obviously, got the shows coming up.
Come to Bozeman.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. And it's an experience coming in the store, right? It's just good. You walk in there. That's what I was going to talk about, was you walk in the store and, like, I don't know. At the time I'd met Kurt like once or twice, and I walk in the store and he knew who I was, right? Like, you walk in and Stacy's there, you walk in, you're there, you walk in, your dad's there. Like, the one thing it's always blown me away is I go to the shows and your dad is like, well, aside from
working
you,
harder than I am right now.
But he's hightailing and he's working his butt off, and he's down on his knees, and like truly people that truly care, and people that have vested. It's not somebody you guys hired last week for the show and they're going to come in and they don't know shit about boots.
Yeah, we're not office people,
no.
For sure. I mean, when I first came on full-time after college, and I was kind of doing like customer service and some marketing stuff, and just kind of sitting plumb behind a desk for a few years. And it was really, I guess, after COVID, I just kind of realized, I was like, this is not me. Like, I'm not happy going to work, and started just spending a couple hours a day in the store. And then it turned into 3 hours, 4 hours. Now I go straight into the store, and I'm there till we close. And definitely need to go up in the office and focus from time to time and get with the team and get on the same page. And I think it's important. Like, it's what we love to do, and we want to make sure people are happy and taken care of. And so, if you're going to talk the talk, you got to walk the walk.
Right.
And it's fun. Like, you meet people. Having grown up in Bozeman, you see someone you haven't seen in a long time. And again, like, we want to kind of develop a community in the store.
Yeah.
That's what's most important to us.
I think that's super cool. I'm seeing more and more of that all the time. I'm hearing talk about that. Like, you talk about community. Tanner talks about that frontiersman gear, right? Like, it's community, and it's like, we're getting away from the bullshit of the online stuff. We're getting back to like the core of who we are. Like these shows are important, like these touch points. And like I never feel better than where I'm at, like in this environment, like a cheap show.
Totally.
When we're at our show, like even in Atlanta, like I'm not a regular there, but just to go over there, just to like that's our people, that's our core, and it's just
I mean it's like here in Reno, it's like a family reunion. You know, I mean this is my 12th year coming here.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's
So there's,
awesome.
I mean, people like you who I just met, or like you, Greg, meet today, but met you 2-3 years ago, and then there's other kids like Wyatt, who kind of grew up coming here. You know, my dad started dragging me down. I guess when I was 16, 17. That's my first one. Just skip school Friday, work the weekend, fly back home. It's like that's what's cool about Wednesday night too. Is it's the first time you see everyone in a year. Well,
it's crazy. Like it's kind of like Wednesday's not really like it's kind of almost designed for the exhibitors, really. Like it kind of is. Like there's nothing during the day, and people are just rolling in, and of course everyone's welcome. But shit, there was 800 people there in that room last night, or 900 people or more. I don't know. Like it's a big room, but I walked around and I felt like I knew 3/4 of the people in that room. It was, like super cool, man.
Josh, our photographer, he came. I just went to like run to the bathroom, left my phone on the table, and came back in, and you ran into Rachel and Colin, and you're also meeting new people that you haven't met before, and so ended up being like I guess 45 minutes before I went back to the table, and everyone was gone, so I had to go track Josh down without a phone and find it. But it's easy. I mean, you just go across the hall and everyone's just right there at the bar.
The circle bar.
They don't go far out of that room.
It's not hard to find someone you're looking for.
Well, Greg says he's buying whiskey for everyone at the circle bar tonight.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, just don't find me there.
It's expensive.
He's got me with that before.
Well, last year at Sheep Show, I was sitting there with the board in the circle bar, and Greg walks in, and I look at him, he sits down, and I pull up my challenge coin, and he's like, oh, fuck. He had to buy $1,000 worth of drinks. It's like he didn't have his challenge coin on.
I got it there today with you pulling that one up. Best believe.
It's awesome. Okay, so, come to the store, obviously. I'm going to do an appeal to our listeners. I think we should do a Mecca to frickin' the Ram Rendezvous. What are the dates? Do you know, like rough? It's July, right?
We shoot for the first Friday of July.
Okay.
I think actually this year that's July 4th, which is Independence Day for us. So we'll probably end up doing the week after.
All right.
Yeah.
We should try and do that. We should get a big group from our Canadian folk come down.
I tell everyone all the time, like no one ever takes me up on it, or seldom do, but come down, put you up. You know. Do the Ram Rendezvous and then go find something else that's fun. Go put the boat in the water or hike around.
There's no shortage of things to do in Bozeman, right? Like it's such a cool city and cool country, like Yellowstone. I dreaded Yellowstone. You got Yellowstone in the backyard, and so.
No, what's great about Bozeman really is it's like it is a big town in the valley anymore. I think it's probably up to about 100,000 people in the whole valley, but you could still drive an hour and be back to old Montana.
Right.
I mean, like my antelope spot, Montana does this cool tag where it's for residents, it's archery only, but you kind of get the whole state just about. And again, like going fishing after work, you can drive an hour, go get on a couple stocks, head back home.
Right. Yeah.
So, and then kind of the further you get, outside of Bozeman, the more old school it gets. I mean, I think still Montana averages like less than a person a square mile.
Yeah. It's my kind of place.
Yeah.
Well, when we come to 51st State, maybe we can move there, right?
That's
awesome. Funny. Well, appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much. Obviously, Schnee's is a huge supporter in BC. You guys do a ton of stuff. I know support WSFAB, support us. It's just
and I guess for all your Canadian listeners, too, I'm going to be up at the Mountain Expo. Have some boots there if you want to try some on. Same with the Alberta chapter banquet. Should be over there, too. Paul kind of cornered me last night, made me commit, so I'll be there as well.
Paul has a way of doing that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to that show too, so it'll be fun. So.
Yeah, it's always a fun show.
Yeah,
they're both awesome.
Sure. It's hard on the liver, but
it's just Albertans.
Yeah.
Albertans in general. They're hard on the liver.
Awesome. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming on the podcast.
Yeah, man.
We'll do it again.
To be on. Yeah. And thank you for everything you do.
Thank you. You bet.